Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
This part of downtown is known locally as Graffiti Alley, and even though it isn't large, it connects Lincoln to a much bigger story that runs through cities across the United States. Graffiti in America did not begin as decoration. It began as visibility. In the late 1960s and 70s, young people in New York started writing their names on subway cars and buildings as a way of saying, "I exist and I was here." Those early tags spread rapidly through train networks and neighbourhoods, turning handwriting into a form of identity. By the 1980s, graffiti had become a full culture. Writers developed styles, techniques, and reputations. Crews formed. Rivalries emerged. Walls and trains became competitive spaces where skill and creativity were judged by peers rather than institutions. At the same time, authorities pushed back. Cities spent millions removing paint. Laws tightened, surveillance increased. Graffiti became associated with crime, disorder, and social decline. For decades, it was treated purely as a problem to eliminate. But culture didn't disappear, it adapted. As street art evolved, murals, stencils, and large-scale pieces began appearing alongside traditional tagging. Some artists crossed into galleries, others stayed underground. A new line formed between art and vandalism, even though both came from the same roots. Places like this alley exist because of that shift. Rather than fighting every marking, many cities now designate specific areas where street art is tolerated or encouraged. These spaces give artists visibility while keeping the rest of the city tightly controlled. In Lincoln, Graffiti Alley plays that role. It's small, contained, and informal, but it provides a place where visual expression is allowed to exist in public. Some pieces are planned, others appear quickly, some last for years, others vanish within weeks. That turnover is part of the culture. Graffiti has always been temporary. Paint gets covered, walls get cleaned, new work appears. The value is not permanence. For writers and artists, being seen matters more than lasting forever. This is also why social media has changed everything. Today, most graffiti is documented online within hours. Photos spread through Instagram and archives. A piece can disappear physically but can still exist digitally. That gives artists global audiences even when their work is local. Small alleys now connect to international networks. Someone painting here in Lincoln may be following artists in Los Angeles, Belize, or Sao Paulo, and those artists may see this work in return. The culture is no longer limited by geography. Graffiti also reflects local identity. Themes, names, symbols, and styles often reference neighborhoods, schools, music scenes, or personal histories. Even when the techniques are global, the content is usually personal. That's visible here. Some work reflects student culture, some reflects national pride, some reflects regional pride, some is purely stylistic, some is experimental. Together they form a visual record of who passes through and what matters to them. There is also tension built into every wall. Property owners want control, artists want freedom, cities want order, communities want character. Graffiti sits at that intersection of all four. Graffiti Alley exists because Lincoln has chosen compromise over conflict. Instead of endless removal and punishment, the city allows limited space for expression. That keeps creativity visible without letting it dominate. For visitors, this space shows something important. It shows that even in a structured, ordered city, people still look for ways to speak in their own voice. It shows how global culture reaches local streets. And it shows how identity gets written onto walls, erased, and rewritten again. This alley is not famous. It is not massive. But it connects Lincoln to a 50-year tradition of American street culture that began in subway tunnels and now spans the world. It reminds us that cities are not shaped by planners and developers. They're also shaped by people who pick up a marker, a can of paint, and decide to leave something behind.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.